Life can feel pretty chaotic a lot of the time, right? So where on earth do we find meaning in all of that? Well, today we're diving into the powerful answers from Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life. Think of it as a guide to building some order out of the mess. We're going to break down some of the most crucial rules to give you a kind of roadmap for facing that chaos head on. Peterson kicks things off with a feeling we all know deep down. Life often feels chaotic. He totally gets that suffering and disorder are just part of the deal for everyone. But, and this is a big but, he argues that's not the whole story. It's just one half of the equation of being alive. Okay, so to really get his rules, you have to understand this one core idea. He sees life as this constant dance between two huge forces. On one side, you've got chaos. That's the unknown, the unexpected, where both tragedy and adventure live. And on the other, you've got order. That's structure, safety, and everything we can predict. And look, the goal isn't to get rid of chaos completely. That's impossible. It's about building enough order in your life to be able to withstand it. So where do you even start building that order? Peterson's answer is super clear. It starts with you. This first set of rules is all about taking personal responsibility, about mastering your own internal world before you even think about trying to change anything else out there. Think of these first few rules as the absolute foundation. They're about how we physically carry ourselves, how we measure our own progress, and where we have to start if we want to make any real, lasting change. Let's kick it off with Rule 1. Stand up straight with your shoulders back. Now, this is way more than your mom telling you not to slouch. It's pure psychology. Peterson uses this amazing example, lobsters. Turns out the dominant lobsters, the top dogs, have higher serotonin levels, and that makes them physically stand up taller, more confident. By just physically adopting that posture ourselves, we send a signal to our own brain and to the world that we are ready to take on responsibility. It's such a simple but powerful idea, right? When you carry yourself like you're strong and capable, you start to get respect, not just from other people, but, and this is the important part, from yourself. All right, next up is Rule 4. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today. I mean, this is a trap we all fall into, right? You're scrolling through social media, you see what everyone else is doing, and you just feel inadequate. Peterson says that's a game you can never win. The only productive path, the only comparison that leads to real growth, is competing against the person you were yesterday. And that leads us perfectly into Rule 6, which is a huge call for some humility and some real action. Before you go out and blame the world for all of its problems, take a hard look inward. Have you actually fixed everything you can control? Is your own life, your room, your habits, your relationships really in order? The idea is, once you sort out your own personal chaos, you actually gain the strength and clarity to make a positive difference in the world. So, once you start getting your own act together, building that internal order, the next step is to take those same principles and apply them to the world around you. This is all about how a person who's put together on the inside can have a really positive impact on their whole social circle. Handling the social world without getting pulled into more chaos, it really boils down to 3 big things: the people you hang out with, whether you're being honest, and how well you actually listen. Okay, Rule 3 is a big one. Surround yourself with people who actually want the best for you, people who support your growth and push you to be better. You have to avoid people who drag you down or who encourage your bad habits. Your social circle isn't just a small thing. It literally shapes your future, so choose it carefully. A real friend wants you to win. This brings us to Rule 8, tell the truth. Or at the very least, don't lie. Look, lying might seem like an easy way out in the short term, but every time you do it, you twist your perception of reality and you chip away at your own character. Being honest, even when it's really, really hard, is the only way to build a life on a foundation that won't crumble. So you see, truth isn't just some moral high ground. It's actual power. It frees you from having to remember all your lies, and it grounds you in reality. And that right there is what makes you strong. Rule 9 is a total game changer for how you talk to people. It asks you to go into every conversation with a little humility. Don't just listen so you can figure out what you're going to say next. Listen to actually understand. Just assume that every single person you meet knows something that you don't. That mindset, well, it opens you up to learning constantly and to making real connections. Okay, so now we're getting to the real heart of the book. After you've started to sort yourself out, to sort out your relationships, what's it all for? Peterson argues the goal of life isn't just to be happy. It's something much deeper, something that can hold up even when you're not happy, and something that's way more fulfilling in the long run. And that brings us to Rule 7, which is huge. Pursue what is meaningful, not what is expedient. Expedient is just a fancy word for what's easy, what's convenient, what gives you that quick hit of pleasure right now. Meaning, on the other hand, that's about taking on responsibility, facing tough challenges, and aiming your life at a goal that's bigger than just your own comfort. The real, lasting satisfaction in life, it comes from that hard but meaningful road, not from taking shortcuts. And finally, we get to the last rule we'll cover. And it might sound a little weird at first. Rule 12. Pet a cat when you encounter one on the street. It sounds almost silly, doesn't it?
So, what's really going on with this rule? What's he actually getting at here?
Well, it's actually this beautiful metaphor. Because look, life is tough. Suffering is part of the deal. This rule is a reminder to keep your eyes open for the small, simple moments of beauty and grace and joy that pop up even in the middle of all the chaos. It's about appreciating those little pockets of peace and connection that make all the struggle worth it. So when you boil it all down, when you put all these rules together, they all point to one incredibly powerful idea. The core message of this entire book is that voluntarily choosing to accept responsibility, that is the very thing that creates meaning in our lives. This right here is the ultimate antidote to chaos. It's not about finding an easy life. It's about finding a meaningful one. And that meaning, as Peterson argues, is found directly in the act of shouldering your own burden and trying your best to make things better, one small step at a time. So I'll leave you with this question. After hearing all this, what is the one small step, just one, that you can take today to create just a little more order in your own world?